Bina has a very interesting story, and when I saw her pictures, I was really impressed that she is a consultant, and she has been moving around the world actually consulting large corporations, and
Thank you
she's
so
helping a
much.
lot of companies grow, and she helps them in their strategic development and innovation. So that was marvelous. So Pakistani lady reached that. It's a great honor for the whole country, I think. And
Thank you so much.
we would like to know a bit as well. We have still 5-10 minutes. The students can uh, the story going to Oxford, and then from there onwards going to the corporate world, and then making your own mark. It's not that easy. You have to make your own. You see, mark by you have to develop your own credibility. You add value. So
Thank you so
how
much.
did this happen,
So, sir,
Bina?
first of all, assalamualaikum to everyone and good evening and welcome everyone in this session. Many thanks to you, IBA, Tasteen, Abdullah, and the team who is working on backside, which I don't know everybody's name. So thank you so very much. Well, before going to University of Oxford, I did my MBA, started my career with banking, and then become a consultant, worked in a couple of projects with Robert, and other teams, and then which is like globally, and laying the infrastructure, getting the licenses, supply chain, you name it, and I'm doing it, I think so. And it's across the world, yes. Did some projects in Pakistan. For example, getting the license for the Dubai Islamic Bank, I was initially involved in that. Then did 18 licenses for the 18 branches of Dubai Islamic Bank as well. And obviously more in Middle East, more in Europe, and more since few years in the USA, Latin Americas, and South Americas is growing, and they are my forte as well. But before all these things, going to Oxford, doing MBA, doing all these consultancy, I would like to give a little background. I hail from entrepreneurial family background. So my father and sisters had been into textile business since centuries. And as little as age 4, I have been involved observing my father, attending meetings with them. And so I learned the organizational skills, management style from my late father. I mean,
Karachi those days.
yes, I used to be in Karachi and between London. And because the textile stuff used to get manufactured there and used to be exported abroad, like in Maputo, Paris, and several other destinations. So we can call it a modern day internship, which I was doing with my late father those days. And then after that, I have been involved in several international regions with my father as well. And then to keep myself motivated and focused, I do ceramics, pottery, and painting. For example, a couple of pieces right here are made by me. So and I do sell them sometimes. Mostly they are actually for my own purpose. They're made by me actually, all of these.
Oh, wow, the Zabardast.
So this is all my hand creation.
MashaAllah.
So Alhamdulillah, and I do participate in exhibitions, sell them sometimes, but obviously I don't get so much time to do all this stuff. And that's it. That's my little story. And my mother thinks sometimes I'm Picasso, which I'm not. But that's the love of mother.
अच्छा नहीं मम्मी तो अब समझेंगे ना माशाल्लाह.
बिल्कुल sir.
Great. So I think mashallah we are very kind that Bina Saba she visited IBA Karachi, and she spared some time for a guest speaker session with our babies, and that speaks volumes of her willingness to contribute and share for the development of the youth of this country. And I think she's our ambassador in London, and we're looking forward for a great session. There are a lot of young people from the whole country, so inshallah people will be coming up. So they're young people, they're people from Bahawalpur, from Karachi, from Hyderabad, from Faisalabad, Gujranwala, inshallah, Islamabad coming up. And one of our participants has just started a business a few days ago. Her name, she's from Bahawalpur. Her name is Khizra, I think. Yeah, She's a participant of this course, and she just started her business a few days ago.
Yes,
Hizra,
sir,
you're
I'm
there?
here.
So, mashallah,
Yes, sir.
can you quickly tell Bina, what are you doing from Bahawalpur?
Yes, sir, it's a small entrepreneurial business.
She started from her own kitchen, and she loves baking. And out of the course, alhamdulillah, she got some customers. So her entrepreneurial journey has begun. So Bina, there will be various students, and some of the SMEs will also be joining us, inshallah. So we'll be looking at strategy as well and growth as well. Bina's area of expertise is more towards innovation, growth, and strategy. So let's see what's coming up. So over to Bina now, mashallah.
Thank you so
Bismillah
much. So
ar-Rahman
we have
ar-Rahim.
got a few more friends from the US. Jason Shepard is here. Mr. Salman is here. So we have got quite a few people
Wow.
from, and they're from Oxford University as well.
Great. Welcome, my friend Jason. Welcome to the session from Pakistan. It's a great opportunity for us. And the other guy was?
Mr. Salman, Mr. Shafkat, and Mr. Tausif.
Tausif is here? Okay.
I think so,
hope
yes.
so.
Yes.
Oh, great. Tausif Sahab. Walaikum salam, sir. Mashallah. I was at Capco in 1996 to 2002. So I think we have something in common, inshallah.
So let's start the session, sir.
Yes, exactly, please.
Thank you. So this lecture will be briefly touch base. So I'm sharing two screens at the moment. So let me start sharing my PowerPoint first. So how do we go about? Wait a minute, sir. So PowerPoint. Sorry, there are two screens around here. So we start with the first one. So is it visible now? Dr. Shahid, is it?
No, your screen is not visible.
Okay, let's see. So Sunil Kumar is from Tharparkar, Anand Hayat from Faisalabad. So people are saying that we are also from other cities. So a lot of people from all over the country will be there, inshallah.
Cool. Okay. The screen, can you see the screen now?
I can't, it's not there.
You just share the screen.
Can you share?
I did so. Allow me a minute again.
Just a second. Yes, it's there now.
So can you see the first presentation, the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see a desktop.
Perfect. Alhamdulillah. So we will have an interruption when I'll be starting my second PPT on Blue Ocean, but until then, for quite a while, you should be all right. So let's start. So before I just plunge into the whole lecture, I would like to give the split. How would it go around? So this lecture will briefly touch base three topics as they're very intense and extensive. So section one, we will touch base the growth strategy and then discuss the fundamental capabilities to do the business locally or internationally. We will then dive into how to go international. And section three, concisely learn about the Blue Ocean Strategy concept, which is applicable both for the private sector and for the public sector as well, and for any organization to stand out. It will provide you with understanding of concepts, framework, along with video and loads of examples from different industries and sharing number of years of experience. So let's start. What is growth strategy?
Just a second, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Bina, but have you turned off the annotations options that we spoke about?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, please. 1 second. So, yes. So where do we go around to?
You have to go to more from your screen on the right corner, top right corner.
I did so more, and then we go to disable attendee annotations.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. So what is growth strategy? Growth strategy is just a simple action plan that allows you to achieve higher level of market share when you're doing currently your business. So it can be qualitative and quantitative. When we say qualitative, the growth means increasing your sales volume and your profit margin and your product range and your resources and your number of employees and investments. When we go qualitative, growth is about increasing the quality of the business and business elements simply. Now, growth strategies are very important these days because the cutthroat competition environment in the market condition that increase the importance in the scale in business. Hence, the entrepreneurs and professional executives struggle with evolving the growth strategy. Now, we can examine the growth into two main categories, basic ones. One is organic and second one is inorganic. Now, an organic growth, as the term says, is something that happens naturally without the influence of external resources. The organic expresses economical, physical, social, and organizational growth of any company, such as opening new business branches, either domestic or internationally. Strategies for organic growth include optimization through internal processes, finance through internal funds, that means without taking loans, retain profits, builds on business trends, example, your brands, your customers, investing in additional production capacity or new technology. For example, let's say Walmart. Walmart and other retail reports comp sales, which is a comparable sales, or you can say comparable like same identical store sales on quarterly basis to give investors or analysts an idea of the growth. So Walmart grew its comp sales by 2.5% in Jan 2020. A clear example of organic growth by Walmart CEO attributed to strategic focus of comp sales over opening new stores rather than just making the customer experience very good in the existing stores. So on the other hand, inorganic growth provides growth in the operations of a business that arises from mergers, takeovers, and they increase the company's own business activity. So it helps the companies to enter new markets immediately and increase their assets, their market presence, and a stronger line of credit because the two companies blend together, they're combined. Business prefer inorganic growth for several reasons, such as lowering manufacturing cost, making use of economies of scale, technology transfers, or operating internationally or nationally, and very quick, very immediate expansions. So, for example, by doing strategic alliances, merger and acquisitions, partnerships, or conglomerates. Example, Whole Food. So somebody here is trying to take control of my screen. Imran Khan is requesting control and he's not letting me move my screen. Sir, I can't move my screen because there's somebody, Imran Khan, has taken remote control of my screen.
Just a second, Bina, we'll look into it. Just a second.
You can de-share and stop sharing and then do it again. Stop sharing and do it again.
He has taken the control. I can't move anything on my screen.
Just a second.
Okay, so maybe you can.
Whoever is Imran Khan, they have to stop it, please.
Okay, let's.
We see him.
This.
Okay, can you just stop sharing your screen and just share it again? I think you are on again.
No, Tazeen, somebody has taken the remote control and then I can't move anything on my screen now.
All right, your screen is gone. Just share it again.
Okay, thank you.
And can you just click off the annotations and if there's an option to deny the remote control, the access of remote control, please do that also from your screen. Because you will be only able to manage the screen that you're sharing.
Stop, pause, stop. No, there's nothing like that. So I
All
hope
right,
so.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I hope it will work, and if it happens, then we'll do this process again.
thank you, sir. So we have discussed the growth strategies now. Now we're coming to for example, so in inorganic growth, for example, Whole Food was Amazon's largest buyer ever at the time of the acquisition took place in 2017. Amazon paid 13.7 billion for the organic food to the organic food retailer. Whole Food gives Amazon way to deliver fresh foods, which is an area where Amazon has struggled in the past. So now we have learned about the concept of market growth strategies. So before we move into the importance of building or investing in essential capabilities for any local or international business, let's watch a video on Amazon Go to understand the application of the growth strategies and capabilities.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go?
Bina, we can't view the video.
Machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store.
Can you do?
So you never have to
We
wait in
can't
line.
view the video. It's not on the
No
screen.
lines, no checkouts, no registers.
Oh,
Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart.
Saskina, send the video link. Try on your end.
Change your mind about that cupcake. Just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So how does it work?
Received it? Taskin, you can play the video. I've just sent the link.
I have received it. Just a second.
Thank you.
जी बीना अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Welcome, Aslam, sir.
जी
4 years
Can you
ago,
all see?
we started to wonder, what would shopping look like?
Yes, I have it. Do you want me to play it or will you play it?
Yes, well, you can play it because on my side it's just restricting me.
All right, just a second.
Thank you, dear.
No problem. All right, can everyone view it?
If you could
Can you view it, Bina?
No, nothing.
Can view.
No.
I can view.
grab what you want and just go. What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very
Just forward it to everybody so they can view it.
Right. What we can do is you can forward the link and we can carry on with the presentation and we can view it later.
Perfect. I've already sent you the link.
Yeah, I'll just share it on the chat as well. And then we can watch it later and you can continue with the presentation right now.
Cool. That's fine. So on my end, it's not letting me do anything. Somebody's controlling it.
Right, can you see the name of the person who is doing it?
No, now they have released it. Can you see my screen now?
Like we can see your screen.
Perfect. Cool. So why capabilities driven strategy works? Because differentiated capabilities are the key to sustainable business. Now, nearly every asset comes from a differentiated capability or enhanced by one. But if you're trying to be good at too many things, you will fail. So laws of leader, what they're trying to do at the moment, they try to be good at everything. But what happened? It just turned out to be okay. Nothing get great. So what we need to do is focus on few capabilities. And the capabilities come often with high costs. So winning companies invest heavily behind the doors on few capabilities. And so the companies who are investing more on those capabilities, they're 3 times likely to grow faster than their other competitors in the industry. So let's discuss briefly the growth capabilities. So we'll start with the business strategy. So now is the time to reimagine how you do your business. Focus on differentiating capabilities like Starbucks. Now, Starbucks is distinctive to be the purveyor of the third place in friendliness as a center of human activity after home and workplace. What are the best capabilities they use? Is the stewardship of global available customer experience, design and development of the premium product line, recruiting and managing a force of dedicated employees. Is Starbucks improving its technology, expanding its rewards program? The company has been introducing new partnerships like with Nespresso, with Nestle, partnering with Uber Eats to expand its delivery. So they are actually broadening their horizons. Now, then we move next to is the customer strategy. Now, leading companies are prioritizing customer strategy. So putting the customer at first by building value with leveraging data for marketing, for pricing, for channel decisioning. So for example, is IKEA is the world's most leading home furnishing brand. It uses its distinctive capabilities like delivering the value of functional home furnishing at very low prices with a high level of customer engagement with capabilities such as deep understanding how customers live at their home, price conscious and stylish product designs, efficient, scalable and sustainable operations. Then we move to operation strategy. So like technologies enabling new ways of operating by reinventing operations so we can see in future by using the advanced analytics. For example, Inditex, which is known as Zara's as well from its brand name. What is it? It's a Spanish clothing company that pioneered the fast fashion industry. It uses its distinctive capabilities to be a customizer and innovator, providing on-trend clothing at reasonable price, with capabilities like fast fashion forward design for products, rapid response to manufacturing operations, global consistent and persuasive branding. Then we move to organization strategy. So embracing change, empowering people by designing organizational solution for future. For example, mine in USA in the energy sector, after acquiring multiple small companies, millions of dollars conglomerate in South America, needed help with post-merger business model revamp. So what we did was we built capabilities around cultural integration, plant rationalization, new operational models, relationship with the banks, and consolidation. We need to help to stabilize the company's decision-making process and supply chain process because there were quite many companies which become together in a conglomerate. Then we move to product and service innovation strategy. So what happened here is find better ways to break through. So for example, Cemex. What is Cemex? It's a Mexican multinational, a global leader in building materials. It manufactures and distributes cement, ready-mix concrete, and aggregates around in 50 countries globally. It uses the distinctive capabilities like sophisticated knowledge management, sharing, gives customer the guidance how to use its products, build long-term customer and community relationship, construction-oriented innovation, proficiency in sustainability-related building materials. Then you move to technology strategy. So, for example, we have got so many options now: artificial intelligence, robotics, IoT, drones, machine learning, blockchain. It's so many options. So successful companies must make tough choices about how to use these technologies and where to focus in their IT investments. For example, one of my clients, they faces hundreds of cyber attacks during the whole month. And now they are so robust at this capability, how to manage it. Then Apple is the world's most innovative company, uses its distinctive capabilities to form the hub of a single digital system. What it does, it enables customers to easily manage media production, communication. How? By intuitively accessible designs, technological integration, and breakthrough innovations. Last not the least, we corporate social responsibility plays in corporates like in education and carbon footprint, food banks, blood banks, health programs, and your business foundations. As Pakistan is a progressive country and businesses must give back to the society. CSR are advantageous to both businesses as it bolsters company's image and builds its brand, attract positive media attention for you. Investors are more likely to back a reputable business. So the good example is from Pakistan, SIUT Hospital, where Dr. Adib Rizvi is doing a recommendable job by providing free urology treatment. Tom's Shoes brands, they give a pair of shoes to destitute children for their each sales. Then you speak about Coca-Cola. They focuses on, for example, in Egypt, 650 clean water installations, sponsors Ramadan meals for children across Middle East. So now we have learned about the growth strategies. And the importance of business capabilities for local and international businesses. Let's explore international expansion roadmap briefly. So how many of you would like to expand internationally? Are we together?
Definitely, everybody.
Cool. So how many hands are raised so far? Ashraf, Adnan, Ashraf? Muhammad Aoun, Nasser Qureshi, Ahmed Zaur, Yasser Siddiqui, Yasser Hussain, Sheikh Saad Sheikh, Ilyas, Abdur Rahman, Khizra Sultan, OS, Asim. So quite a many, which is interesting, which is very nice. In fact, it's encouraging. I'm very happy that everybody has a bigger, broader vision. So, I would like to, so now today, every young companies are often called international because many ventures are born global in terms of their supply chain, in terms of their customer base. For example, simply online retailers, tech companies, and etc. So, however, there comes a time when an entrepreneur like all of you, inshallah, would like to decide to make a push. So before going abroad, entrepreneurs must evaluate themselves if they have built on their core capabilities to expand internationally, as we have discussed them above. So they must understand, because doing business in another country requires a market-led approach. The reasons why so many businesses fail when venturing overseas is because they didn't check to see if the market is viable for them. They just thought we started a business, they start running before crawling or walking, right? So now, why do you think, why would you like to go international? Can I get some answers, please? Taskeen, if you can read the answers for me because it's not displaying on my screen.
I will as soon as we have some answers coming in. Someone is saying, Mr. Asim is saying economies of scale.
Very good, excellent. It's included in my points as well, yes.
Faisal Qureshi is saying a better pay.
Oh, better returns, profitability, okay.
Hanan Hayat is saying it's for learning as well.
Yes, expanding horizons, learning from different cultures and markets.
Adnan
Yes.
Ashraf is saying it's for better opportunities. Madia Latif for an expanded customer base.
Excellent.
Khalid Hussain is for promoting sales. Maha is for minimizing the risk. Hizra is for promoting the country. Asim Saab again for expansion and for growth.
Excellent,
And
excellent.
Qazi Saeed is
We
for
got
generating
quite few
foreign
answers.
exchange. Yeah.
So somebody mentioned about risk. So we'll be covering that part because that's one of the very crucial parts. So when we go international. So how to go international? So like now the example is we might be going for greater access to talent pool as well. So tech companies such as Apple, Google, and Yahoo all evolved from small startup with limited funding and grew to massive multinational corporations. The reason for the rapid spread of these companies is that the demand for these technologies, the grip on capabilities, again, I stress enough on the grip on their capabilities, market research and innovation led by visionary leaders. So how to go international? Remember, one size does not fit to all. International expansion strategies are formal. They operate on multi-level strategic plans, frameworks that businesses use to enter an overseas market to establish their presence and become quickly profitable. How and where to go for assistance? It's wise to reach out to international expansion business consultants, country state promotion agencies, banks and legal firms, business networks, and etc. So there is a lot of help available there. Before any hasty move, and entrepreneurs or organizations must look into considerations such as choice of market entry. Evaluate your country demographics where you want to enter. Look at the GDP growth. See how the consumers spend in that country. Look at the competition already available for you there. See what's the ease of doing business in that region, right? Then you have to see your products and services. It's dangerous, really dangerous to assume that products and services that are successful in domestic markets will be equally successful elsewhere. Consider whether the products and services need to be adapted to suit the local conditions, be it be their pricing, their service models, or their local taste. Such an example is McDonald's. They bring a local flavor, literally, to different countries with region-specific menus. Such an example is in 2003, they introduced Mac Arabia, a flatbread sandwich, to its restaurants in the Middle East. Then you have to also consider your finances. Please have a clear guidance on the business financing structure. You need to have a right mix of self-financing, debts, and equities. Have a clear plan B if your expansion fails to launch, to limit financial, reputational risk, and also safeguarding customers. Example in the banks, the capital adequacy requirement with the local regulator. So if a bank collapses, the customer's savings, or to an extent, money is safeguarded. Evolve strategy based on what works best for the business. Should we buy? Should we do partnering? Should we do joint venturing? For example, acquiring licenses in the case of Islamic banks when they're entering in Pakistan. Loads of Islamic banks we have now. So tax and regulations. Get professional advice to understand unique country rules in such as their legal frameworks. Foreign investment restrictions. Do they have sanctions? And see dispute resolution. If we get into trouble, what bodies will help us in terms of dispute resolutions? Consider implication of your international activities for tax treatment back home, because are you in dual tax treaty with that country or not? So I think so on top of my head, Pakistan is with dual tax treaty with 61 countries. Example, one of my Western clients has global footprint in UAE as well. And the company restructuring, when we went for doing it, it is totally different than we were having in the US. Then you have to see in sales and marketing, no standard marketing, please. You can't say, oh, this printing material, which we use for sales and marketing in Pakistan or in UAE, would be applicable in the US or in UK or Africa as well. And you have to see, don't estimate cultural distinctions. Example, bridal corrections. Color differs culture to culture, right? In the same way, international banks are printing their marketing material for their customers in different languages for the convenience, for their understanding. So they have informed choices. You have to see people and structure. Consider broader organizational structure. For example, local versus expatriate talents. So example, one of my clients, we were engaged somewhere in South America. So the client wanted more of their local staff to be sent in the host country, in the other country where they were doing the international expansion, where the host country wanted more of their local staff to be hired and more transfer skills for them. Then you have to understand how you manage risk. So last not the least, please get a good knowledge on the country's political risk, supply chain risk, and other ranges of risk. For example, as highlighted in my recent article, Supply Chain Scenario Planning and Coronavirus Seropsis Questions, it's clearly discussed several sectors and risks associated with them, such as high dependency on a region like China and the inappropriate spread of manufacturing load. So with the recent crisis has highlighted that the fragility of supply chain resulting in the delay of import and export orders at the moment. So now the operationally weak businesses or brands will vanish, and countries may consider onshore or nearshore manufacturing. So example is, sorry, I didn't realize, example is our international market of Carvo. So they had a failure. What is Carvo? That's a car buying comparison site. The first international entry market was Germany. The expectations were they can go to Germany and accomplish it within months. In practice, it doesn't happen like that. It took them over years to get the right people, right suppliers in place, adapt the marketing or sales messages, optimize marketing. They had to go back and start working again from the smaller scale. So precisely what we have learned here is global market entry requires more complex and specialized approach. Missing on them can cause failure and massive reputational risk, and more importantly, sometimes it really discourages and take the confidence away from the business. And we don't want that. We want the businesses and entrepreneurs to flourish. So last bit we are going to be going is, now we have covered the interrelated concepts of the growth strategy. We have done the growth capabilities required by local and international businesses, and touched how to go for international expansion from there. Let's understand the concept of blue ocean strategy, which is crucial for the success of any private or public business locally or internationally. Now we start by watching Amazon video on Amazon Lockers. Now let me open my another presentation. So let me share it. Okay, allow me a minute, please. So are you guys enjoying so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, Bina.
That's what we want. Thank you. So can you see my screen?
No, we can't see it yet.
Okay, back to meeting. Here we go. And share screen. Here we go. Okay.
All right, yes.
We can see it? Perfect.
Yes, it's
Excellent.
coming.
So what is blue? Oh, sorry. Tazeen, now can you see this video?
No, we can't. I can see the link, but the video isn't on.
Now?
No.
Okay, I'm sending it to you.
All right.
So no problems. As the screen says, we can. So. Fair enough. We'll start with this. So Blue Ocean Strategy presents a systematic approach to making the competition irrelevant. It outlines principles, frameworks, and tools any business can use to create and capture their own blue oceans. So how do we go? So Blue Ocean Strategy suggests a company is better off searching for ways to play in uncontested marketplaces instead of engaging with competition in existing market spaces. It is the idea of trying to make market spaces that are free for competitors by creating and capturing new demands, making the competition irrelevant by creating blue ocean strategy. So let's go on the blue ocean strategy paradox. So based on the study of 150 strategic moves spanning more than 100 years across 30 industries, the result of the blue ocean paradox study showed that only 14% of all the studied businesses launched were made within the blue ocean markets, as you can see on the screen. But these 14% achieved 38% revenue impacts and about 61% of profit impacts. Compared to the majority of 86% businesses launched in the red oceans, which are able to get 39% of the total profit impact. So it's right there. Therefore, it's clear that businesses which follow a blue ocean strategy have a much greater chance of success than those battling competitors and follow a Me Too strategy. So what is red ocean and blue ocean strategy difference? So in the red ocean, companies try to outperform their rivals. They grab a greater share of existing demand. As the market space gets crowded, prospects for profits and growth are reduced. So the cutthroat competition, which are the sharks or rivals, are fighting over shrinking profit pools and hence creating a red bloody ocean. So if you see the slide shows all the difference in red color. So I've used the red background to differentiate between red and blue ocean strategy. So in blue oceans, in contrast, are defined by the untapped market space, demand creation, and the opportunity for high profitable growth. Hence, the competition is irrelevant because the rules of the games are waiting to be set. Example, the launch of the 24-screen megaplex in the US in 1995 by American multinational, Multi-Cinema Inc. So before offering by offering superior seating, better sight, and impressive sound capabilities, the megaplex bought people. Then we move to blue ocean value innovation hub. So that's the cornerstone or the heart of blue ocean strategies. So the crucial aim of blue ocean strategy is to create value innovation. Cost savings are made by eliminating and reducing the factors an industry competes on. Bias value is lifted by raising and creating elements the industry has never offered at an affordable price. Therefore, value innovation is achievable only when a company's utility, price, and cost structures are properly aligned and integrates with all the firm's functional and operational activities, which makes it sustainable. So a good example is America's automakers. They used to build custom-made novelty cars which were unreliable and expensive, and they used to cost around $1,500 those days. Then Ford came introducing the Model T in 1908. It was reliable, durable, and easy to fix, and it costs nearly half the price, around $850. And it replaced the horse-drawn carriages. Then we move to the strategy canvas. What is strategy canvas? It is a diagnostic tool for analyzing, formulating, or communicating your strategy. It captures the current state of play in the known market space. This allows you to understand where the competition is currently investing, the factors the industry currently competes on, like on products and services, delivery, what customer receives from competitive offers in the market. So that's very important. Now, reading the value curves enable companies to see the future in the present. So for example, stop and think, what would it take to get non-customers of this industry to start buying from me? So example is Airlines Mars membership. So those who travel a lot might be aware they have got specific airline membership cards. So that comes with an access to loads of airport facilities like VIP lounges access, spa, restaurants, premise service counters, airport pick and drop, and etc. Then we move to the 4-action framework. Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, it is.
So
Yes,
Diana
yes,
is requesting to take remote control of your, Lana is trying to get control of my screen and I couldn't move it. So anyways, the 4 actions framework. What is it? So we have got these 4 questions on the screen, right? So by asking these 4 questions, you bring to the surface any competitive factors which are no longer relevant. Example, in the luxury car market, Toyota's Lexus carved out a new blue ocean by offering the quality at the high end. They're offering the quality as equivalent as to high-end Mercedes, BMWs, Jaguar, at price closer to the lower-end Cadillac or Lincolns. Then we move to to the principles. So the key principles in developing blue ocean strategy. It has 6 main principles. So 4 are formulations, the one which are formulating them, and 2 for execution, which are executing them, along the respectives. So let's discuss the formulation principle number 1. So what happens here is reconstruct market boundaries. Boundaries. What it does, it reduces the search risk. So the key is to look at the familiar data from new perspective and open up to blue ocean possibilities. So the example is Apple's inspiration for iPod was the success of Napster. It was clear there was consumer demand and available technology to download music digitally. Apple provided a legal, simple, and cheap way to access music and thereby tapped into a sizable blue ocean market. Then we move to the second principle, which is to focus on the bigger picture, not on the numbers. This principle is key to mitigating the planning risk. Like in public sector, Blue Ocean Shift provides a roadmap for national development. It shows how to transform the public sector on the local, state, and national level through high-value impact, low-cost initiatives that cut across ministries, agencies, NGOs, and municipalities. So the example is the President of Myanmar discussed plans to create blue oceans in infrastructure. Invited the groups to invest in 3 special economic zones to cooperate in solar power energy and in electricity to rural areas, in infrastructure development and the dockyards. So many other countries are adopting them in China, in Africa, in Russia, and etc. So we can adopt the same in Pakistani public sector as well. Then we reach to the third one, which is reach beyond existing demand. Now that reduces the business model risk associated with creating new market to maximize blue ocean. Now the companies need to focus on 3 tiers non-customers. The first tiers are those people sitting on the edge of current market and those who will be happy to jump ship as soon as something better or comes along the way. So example is malls with play area that attracts families more. The second tier is the public, people who refuses to use your industry's current offerings. Why? Because they think you're too expensive or too elaborate for the needs. So the good example is when Japanese automakers introduced small fuel-efficient cars to US marketplace in the 1970s. Then the third tier is the people who have never thought of your industry's offering as an option because their needs have always been assumed to belong to the other markets. Example, Apple Computer capturing 60% share of the digital music industry with its iPod digital music player and iTunes digital music stores. And the fourth one is to get the strategic sequence right. Now that reduces scale risk. It ensures the commercial viability. The components include buyer's utility, pricing, the cost, ease of adoption, So for example, something new might be very interesting, but until it makes the buyer's life simpler, more convenient, or more fun, it will just be a nice idea. So for example, I like products to be delivered to me very promptly, very efficiently. I don't like, when we need to require specialized training to use or assemble them. Won't require expensive supplementary product along with them. So just a simple example, Canon. They develop small desktop copiers by changing the focus from corporate purchasers to home photo copiers for their home photocopiers users. Now we have covered these ones, so we'll go to the last two, which is the key executing principles of Blue Ocean strategy. So the first one is, which we can call a fifth one, which is overcome key organizational hurdles. It reduces the organizational risk, such as cognitive hurdles, limited resources hurdles, motivating people hurdles, or political hurdles, most important. So even the best and the brightest are regularly eaten by the politics and plotting. So especially if the idea is very new and innovative, it can be threatening to establish social political norms. So for example, public resistance to genetically modified food. So the next one is to build execution into strategy. It reduces management risk. So the presence or absence of fair process can make or break companies' best execution efforts. So the three key E principles of fair process are engagement, explanation, expectations of employees and organization and businesses, because of course they contribute to the most. We may have investors as well, and of course our customers. So we have watched Amazon's videos throughout this lecture. So let's consolidate and wrap up with this last video and summary of Amazon Blue Ocean strategy with Amazon robots. So I believe, again, we may not be able to see that. So what I'll do is, I'll try to send a copy of it to Taskeen so she can play it for us as soon as we are done with it. So let's back to Zoom. Can you all see my slides?
Yes, please.
See the slides?
Yeah, okay. So I can't see. But we can. So is it the last of Amazon? Is it the one showing Amazon?
Yes, it's examples Amazon.
Perfect, perfect. We have good. So so now we have watched Amazon videos throughout this lecture, which Taskeen would play for us. So it will make more relevancy and sense why I elaborated in the end and how it was relevant to the first portion, which was organic and organic growth. Then we learned about the capabilities, which are important for any local or international business and for international expansions. Now we are coming to the end, Blue Ocean. So Blue Ocean can literally take how we can be more successful. Either we are doing a private business, we are a private organization or an entrepreneur or small or big, or we are a public sector. So in 25 years, Amazon has grown significantly since its inception as a book-selling website and spread its wings to other areas like e-commerce, logistics, consumer technology, cloud computing, and most recently media and entertainment with continuous exceptional growth pace. So Amazon customers are worldwide now and have grown to include millions of consumers, sellers, content creators, developers, and enterprises. Each of these groups have different needs, and Amazon worked to meet those needs. How? By innovating new solutions, expanding products, services, capabilities, make things easier, faster, better, and more cost-effective for them, most importantly. So Amazon founder Jeff Bezos explains customers' capability, what he calls true customers' obsession. So according to him, obsessive customers' focus is by far more important. So even if they don't know, like customers don't know, customers what they're wanting better, and your desire to delight customer will drive you to invent something better for them. So Amazon does not own all the ideas and winning strategies. Remind me of all this. So every day there are new companies and new services appearing with approaches that were unheard of previously, thus implementing blue ocean strategies and making it difficult for anybody else to compete with Amazon, such as Kindle e-reading solutions, cloud-based computing, Amazon lockers, where you can get your products delivered there, drone delivery, robot scout delivery, which is designed to independently convey parcels from urban distribution points to Amazon Prime customers, removing the need of vans and cars in the last mile delivery. More in Amazon Prime or 1 hour delivery. Key house and car delivery. You are in your office, it can be delivered in your car or in your home. Amazon Flex Ride, Amazon Logistic delivery startups, where they're helping their employees to do those startups for them and training them and giving them around $10,000 loans as well, or grants to start them. Subsequently, Amazon Go Store, where we have a video, we can watch it later, focus on customers' experience, like boosting just workout shopping experience. The Amazon Go app users enter the store, take the product they want, and go with no lines, no queues, no checkout required. For example, Amazon creating uncontested space. This is blue ocean. This may be more relevant to the world after the crisis and the lockdown is over to maintain distancing, right? Amazon example is in a nutshell, is a summary of everything we have covered today in this lecture, which incorporates application of growth strategy, investing in building capabilities, expanding internationally, and creating blue ocean strategies, and continuously. Remember, you have to continuously creating. In the end, please be aware that these are intense and detailed topics. We can literally run course on each of them. And they require lots of supervised detailed learning and practice in order to achieve and implement them. You just can't do a course from online and go and start implementing them because it's very intense. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Bina. Can we take some questions?
Please, sir.
Yeah, Taskeen, can you take over, please? I will take the first question. One of our female participants, Madhya, is asking that women are less likely to engage in high growth ventures. What is your advice to Pakistani women entrepreneurs to engage in high growth ventures?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear.
So Taskeen will take over.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear that.
So the question is that.
I'll repeat. Sure. So Bina, the question is, it's from Miss Madhiha Latif. She's asking that women are less likely to engage in high growth ventures. So what is your advice to Pakistani women entrepreneurs to engage in high growth ventures?
So first of all, as we have to go step by step, right? And there are examples of high growth ventures. For example, the first industry in 1950s, I think so, was set up by a Pakistani women entrepreneur. And if I'm not wrong, President Ziaul Haq inaugurated that. So there are loads of examples of women who are into these ventures, but I do agree the percentage might be smaller. So we have to work on the core capabilities as we discussed, and then step by step focus on how to go for expanding them further. I hope this answers because we have covered all the ingredients which are essential in this lecture.
All right, perfect. The other question is from Mr. Rashid Hussain, and he's saying that the recent sales for Amazon, they showed an increase, but the net profit did not report an increase as such, as reported in CNN. So why is that?
I don't know because I don't work for Amazon. So anyways, it does happen time to time. We cannot. So the company's analysts look at them and evaluate them, and quarter to quarter they do differ. Obviously, they are definitely doing very well in terms of innovation, and I'm sure, as I can't speak on their behalf because I don't represent Amazon, they may do well, because I can see with the new innovations coming up, customers would go depend high on them, because they are coming up with things which is really like, everything is like Amazon drone, Amazon key. So there is no way. In fact, they have got developed now a fleet of 50 airplanes, and 26% of the business they are taking away from UPS and what's the FedEx. So they would definitely from the upcoming quarters.
All right. Now we have one question. It's a very long question, so let me just go through it very quickly. It says blue ocean seems not only to be the result of a company's efforts, but also a function of time. So it takes time for companies to mature. Amazon took time to get where it is, but also a function of customer maturity. Microsoft launched a tablet device long before Apple, and touchscreen phones were there with more capabilities than Apple offers when the iPhone was launched. So is it a matter of chance more than efforts, or is there a method to the madness? Like, I think he's asking how do you control the waves of the blue ocean, because we have seen where companies that offer better capabilities, but they don't thrive as well as maybe, new companies that come in and they take over the distinct customer markets.
Okay, so answer is very simple. We have covered this thing quite a few times during the lecture, which is like, blue ocean, you have to integrate everything together. So you can't say, I'm going to apply this blue ocean strategy. It has to be applied in your pricing, in your costing, in your idea, in your management. Everybody have to come together. They have to build the value canvas. It is very, very speedy process where you're keeping an eye on your competitors and others, and you're continuously coming up with something which is totally creating uncontested market space, which is making competition irrelevant. So you have to apply it in your infrastructure, in your function, in your organization, in your thinking process, in your operational process, and you have to integrate it in your overall company.
All right. We have one more question. It says that international expansion, it's from Mr. Asim. He's a very senior member of our group. He's asking that international expansions usually require capital. So do you know personally of any startups which have expanded globally without needing VC funding or waiting for an IPO to raise capital?
Yeah, I know actually quite a few of them. Without naming them, a couple of them were my classmates as well. And without naming the company, I would give the example. For example, they started from small educational apps, and then from there they expanded it slowly and gradually, and then they went from one segment of students to another, and from there what they actually, it's a very good question, because I always stress this to a lot of people, that please don't run after venture capital so much. You can start with something very small, right? For example, very, very simple. It's not about blue ocean right now. It's about something I'm talking about, a capital. For example, I had a woman and we helped her with a couple of industrial machines, and now she has grown quite big, and she's taking order internationally. And all she started with the help of me and my friends with 2 machines. Now she's making more than a million Pakistani rupees, 500,000 Pakistani rupees monthly income, just by starting on her own. So this is a very clear-cut example that she started from without having any joint ventures or IPOs or all that, and she expanded internationally. Obviously, if you want to go in one go, you need a partnership or alliances, and you have to go for inorganic growth, or you have to partner with somebody who's already international market. So we have discussed organic growth, like I'm saying, without taking any funds or any help from anybody, and slowly and gradually make your way, right? Like I've given you the educational app example. which is very relevant to the Pakistani market. Then I have given you the women examples, simply stitching. And they both went from organic growth without taking help from anybody. They started small with the saving or the dividend they were generating. They were keeping that aside and keep using them for further expansion. And the second quick example is inorganic growth, right? Now, for example, Amazon or other companies are doing a mix of both, where they think like they have taken, Amazon has taken Go, they quickly just took something over. They bought it, right? They did a conglomerate where they didn't have to reinvent the wheel, right? Because inorganic growth is very quickly, immediately increase your market share and profitability and XYZ. Then I have given a personal example of a US energy sector. I have been working with them since quite a few years on a number of contracts. They did a conglomerate. They needed something for their chemical. They need something for the machinery, for energy sector. And they were relying a lot and paying a lot of rents. And they got good deals from South American companies. And they did a conglomerate. And this is how they expanded. And they're making a very good profit as well right now. So we can go either by organic or inorganic growth. And yes, we can go through that. Yes.
All right, there's one more question. It's not so much as a question. There's one participant, Hanan, who's saying that he's a small entrepreneur and they have recently expanded to Canada. So congratulations. One question that I have, Bina, is that when you talk about blue oceans, you talk about creating new space, right? You talk about creating new markets. So when you talk about marketing and you talk about management, so how is blue ocean creation different from niche marketing?
Excellent question, Taskeen. I was actually looking forward somebody would ask me about this question, and thank you, because otherwise I would have been very disturbed that nobody got a concept or something. So excellent question. So see, in niche, you already know there is a need of so and so product, and I'm going to cater that market by differentiation or by, for example, somebody needs a specific kind of a medicine or halal food or kosher food in international markets, right? Now we have got vegan as well and vegetarians and gluten intolerant food. You know, there's a market, there's a section, right? There's a segment that's niche, right? And you are producing something for them. So you already know there's a segment which is existing and we have to cater the segment, right? Now, in niche, you are not focusing, you can raise your prices high, medium, or low. It is right. And then a competitor will come, and then you have a competition. You already know there will be a competition for halal product or for a specific medicine or something. And you're trying to do something similar that and meet your approach.
All right.
And in niche, you're not integrating, as somebody asked me about operational and functional integration and all that, with your overall organization integration, right? Now we come to blue ocean. In blue ocean, we don't know our customers. We are attracting non-customers. We discussed the 3 tiers, right? And we are also saying, please focus on the pricing, right? So we know customer. We are creating with different marketing mix. We are working on that. In blue ocean, we don't know. We are attracting the non-customers. In niche, we can start with any pricing. In blue ocean, we are saying the pricing has to be affordable. So these are the basic differences. Yes, and then plus, most importantly, in niche, we are not integrating with the whole company, with the whole management, with your organization, with your structure. But in blue ocean, it has to be integrated.
All right, perfect.
I hope that suffices that.
Yes, that's pretty clear, and it also it's cleared up the blue ocean concept furthermore, especially with respect to marketing. And I'm sure a lot of MBA students would also relate more to what blue ocean strategy is now that you've cleared it up and you've differentiated it from niche marketing and brought in the 4 Ps and everything. So we don't have any more questions right now. So I would just like to, and it's almost time also. So I would like to thank you, Ms. Bina, for a very wonderful session. It was very insightful. And I'm sure that we learned a lot. And thank you to all the other participants as well. We have participants from all over the country. We have participants internationally as well. We have James with us. We have Robert with us. So thank you. And
So last question, Taskin, since you're very much into the international markets, the impact of lowering of oil prices, oil prices कम हुई है ना जी पूरी दुनिया में, तो आप तो लंदन के बीना साहबा oil prices काफी कम हुई है ना, तो इससे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा international markets में?
Robert is there. I think so. He's the guru in this area. So Robert, what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to, you know, it's, I think.
Please translate it for me.
Okay. I think some of the supply side moves that have been made lately between OPEC and the other main producers, Russia, as well as the U.S., are going to help a little bit. But to be honest, at the end of the day, it's going to be driven by demand. Worldwide, the technology's gotten so much better for exploring for and producing oil. And with the current crisis, the amount of planes that aren't flying, the amount of people that aren't driving, oil price is just going to stay down for a bit until the price comes back. It was great that we balanced the supply side, but as long as people aren't traveling and using energy, the oil price is going to be down. In a lot of places, the price of natural gas has gone up because people are using more electricity, and natural gas is starting to catch up to coal in terms of production. So a lot of the oil production being done now is being produced for the byproduct of natural gas. But as soon as people start to get back to work and things calm down a little bit, the price should recover.
Great. So, Taskin, over to you once again.
thank you, Robert. Thank you, Bina. Robert, we're also looking forward to your session, inshallah, in the coming week. And Bina, it has been very insightful. Any final word any final advice, any final word that you would like to share with our participants to help them, to inspire them, because most of them are looking forward to start their own entrepreneurial ventures. So any word of advice, anything that you would like to say to them, because most of them would be probably in the introduction stage, maybe in the growth stage, a few of them. So any final word that you would like to say?
Thank you, Taskin. I would just advise them, good luck, first of all, to all of them. And I would say, please spend a lot of time when you're laying the foundation, because once you lay the foundation, if it is a weak foundation, no matter how much you are trying to make a beautiful building on the top of it, it will fall drastically. The good example of it is it's been quite many years, and we are always having financial crash going on in international markets, oil crash going on in the international market, because if the foundation, same way is for a business. So if you make a business, lay the foundation correct, you know your model, that am I going for organic growth, inorganic growth, what's my long-term model, should I be going to international markets or not? And before you don't have to think, okay, tomorrow morning, like Carver example, they were doing very well in the UK. And they started thinking that we'll go to Germany and we'll just win there. But it didn't happen there, because they have to go back, step back, and realize, no, we are missing on the marketing, on the sales, on the supply chains, on the number of suppliers for us. So that is one important thing. So please do your analysis. And most importantly, I don't know how much you give the weightage, but if you have core capabilities made up, which is your marketing strategy, which is your business strategy, technology strategy, and these type of strategies, and within those strategies, you have to build your capabilities. Am I very good at handling the cyber attacks? Am I very good at doing my finances? Am I very good at my taxes? Am I very good at my designing? If I'm a cafe, am I instead of opening from Karachi Defense and going to Karachi Gulshan, first make sure in Karachi Gulshan or Defense, wherever you have opened it, you have built a good capabilities. You're excellent. And then you go to another area, and from there to another city, and from there to another country. And if you've noticed, I have used loads of examples from different industries, because I knew the partisan will be a mixed bag. So I did not want to focus on just one thing. I've used examples of cinema. I've used examples of IT because I realized loads of students want to go for IT. So they have to understand they just can't start having international IT stuff. A market, they have to start building their capabilities first. And then from there, they can take it. This is my advice. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Bina. Thank you for taking out time for us. I'm sure the participants learned a lot, and stay safe and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Taskeen. Thank you, IB, and especially Dr. Shahid and other members of the team for having me here today.
Thank you.